Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All praise is due to Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one and only God. Peace and blessings be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whom no other prophet will come after him. La ilaha illallah Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. There is no God to worship but Allah alone, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a servant and a messenger of Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Today's story is a story of when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam noticed a fragrant smell as he was going to Mi'raj. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam left for the Mi'raj, he could smell a very good aroma. Curious, the Prophet asked Malaika Jibril, "What is that fragrant smell, O Jibril?" Jibril replied, "It was a fragrance from a grave of a pious woman, Mashito, and her children." The story of a woman who holds fast to the truth and faith in Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala is narrated in the Hadith of Ibn Abbas. Who is this Mashito? Who was this pious woman referred to by the Malaika Jibril? Mashito lived in the time of Pharaoh, or Pharaoh, the cruel king who considered himself a god. And she was called Mashito not because it was her name, but because of her profession. In Arabic, the word Mashito means the person who brushes one's hair, in which that profession is now called a hairdresser. And Mashito didn't just work for anybody. She happened to be working in Pharaoh's palace for his daughter. It turned out at the time of Pharaoh, there were several people, close people, who secretly believed in Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet Musa alayhi salam. They followed the guidance of the book of Torah, or Tawrat. The closest people were Siti Aisha, the wife of Pharaoh himself, Mashito, and another, named Hazakil. He is a coffin maker, similar to the box where our Prophet Musa alayhi salam, when he was a baby, was placed to be washed away in the river Nile. At the palace, Hazakil was Pharaoh's confidant. He was married to Mashito, and one day there was a fierce debate between Pharaoh and Hazakil. Pharaoh sentenced a sorcerer to death who declared faith in the Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Hazakil strongly opposed this decision. This attitude made Pharaoh suspicious. It is possible that Hazakil has also believed in the Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Because of that, Pharaoh rewarded him with the death penalty. This did not make Hazakil afraid. He still believes that the God he believes in is none other than Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mashito's husband was found dead in a sad condition. His hands were tied to a date palm, his body filled with arrows. Mashito was very sad to see her husband's condition, but she was patient and submitted herself to Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala. And she complained to Pharaoh's wife, Siti Aisha. Siti Aisha then gave advice to Mashito and her children to be patient. However, she could see signs that Mashito believed in Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the end of her advice, Siti Aisha told her that all this time she also believed in Allah but hid it from her husband. After the death of her husband, Mashito carried out her duties as a hairdresser for Pharaoh's daughter. There is a trivial story but a big impact. Because of the fallen comb, Mashito's identity is finally revealed. At that time, Mashito was combing the hair of Pharaoh's daughter, when suddenly the comb in her hand fell. When she went and picked up the comb, her lips reflexively said, "Bismillah." The words made Pharaoh's daughter surprised. "Are the words you mean my father?" asked Pharaoh's daughter. Mashito then said, "The meaning of the word was actually God, not intended for Pharaoh, your dad. This is my Lord, also the Rabb of your father, namely Allah, because there is no God but Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala." This answer offended Pharaoh's daughter, meaning there was another God besides her father. She threatened to report Mashito's belief to her father. Mashito was not afraid, because she believes that Allah is the real God, not Pharaoh. Her daughter's report angered Pharaoh. He did not think her nanny was a follower of the Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Mashito was summoned and asked by Pharaoh, "Is what my daughter said true?" Who is the God what you have been worshipping all this time? Mashito did not deny the accusation. She resolutely said, That's right, tyrant king. There is no God but Allah, who truly controls nature and its content. The answer made Pharaoh even more angry. He ordered the guards to prepare boiling oil in a large copper pot. The hot vessel was used to boil Mashito and her children. The sight was witnessed by the public. Before being put into the hot oil, Mashito was given one more chance to choose. She and her 2 children survived by acknowledging the Pharaoh as a god, or death if she did not want to acknowledge Pharaoh's divinity. Mashito was not afraid of Pharaoh's threats. She still believes that the real God is only Allah, not Pharaoh, an unjust king. Mashito's stance further embarrassed Pharaoh. The cruel king ordered his bodyguards to immediately throw Mashito and her children into the boiling oil. The story was told by the Malaikat Jibril to our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that Pharaoh ordered to throw Mashito's children one by one in front of her until the very last one was the baby who was still suckling in Mashito's arms. How can a mother bear to watch their children being tortured and killed in hot boiling oil one by one? When it was the last baby's turn to be put into the hot copper pot, Mashito hesitated. But with the will of Allah Subhanahu, the baby was suddenly able to speak. Don't be afraid and doubtful, O my Ummi, because our death will receive a reward from Allah Subhanahu, and the gates of heavens will be all open waiting for our arrivals. Also narrated by Ahmad, the baby convinced the mother, Be patient, my mother. Actually, we are in the right. Oh mother, please get in. The torment of this world is lighter than the torment of the hereafter. Her baby's strength made Mashito's doubts disappear. With faith and sincerity to Allah, Mashito said, Bismillah tawakkaltu ala Allah, Wallahu Akbar. Mashito and her baby went straight and plunged themselves into the hot boiling oil. Miraculously, as soon as the hot oil touched the bodies of the istiqamah, people could smell a very fragrant smell coming from inside the cauldron. Allah Subhanahu has proven to His servants the power of istiqamah. When Mashito and her children were thrown into the pot one by one, Allah first took their lives so that they would not feel the heat of the boiling oil. MashaAllah. The bones of Mashito and her children were buried somewhere so that they gave off a very fragrant smell. The aroma was smelled by Rasulullah SAW during the Isra Mik'raj journey. That is the grave of Mashito and her children, said Angel Jibril. Wallahu alam bis-sawab. That's the ending of our story for today. May Allah increase our iman and ilmu so that we can pass them down to our children, family, friends, and all our loved ones. Until next time, please take care and be kind to one another. Jazakallahu khair and shukran.